Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to load data into BigQuery from Google Cloud Storage bucket with using Python, which is nothing but, Python SDKs. As you see in this PPT depicts my demo. Here, the scenario is, let's say you have a very big JSON file data that needs to be loaded into a BigQuery, which is a data warehouse and analytics tool from Google Cloud. So in such cases, this is the video which is going to help you a lot. In this video will show you what are the things that you need to maintain and you need to configure and also need to code in your Python script so that you achieve the scenario, right? Say that you are keeping that big JSON file in the Google Cloud Storage bucket and you need to load that into the Google Cloud BigQuery data warehouse or analytics service, right? And then from there you can use it for analytics purpose, right? So in these cases, this is the video which is going to help you. So this is purely executing this scenario from your laptop or from your local system basically. Yeah. All right, so the flow of this video would be something like this, or the flow of this solution or flow of this lab would be something like this. So we're going to create a Google Cloud Storage bucket. In that bucket we're going to keep our data file, and in the other side, so in the other side, that is Google Cloud BigQuery, right? So I'm not going to touch that service at all, but I'm going to do the programmatically, saying like how to create dynamically the table according to the schemas that is required, right? And finally, after creating the table underneath the Google Cloud BigQuery, how to upload the same data that is present in the bucket automatically, right? So whatever you see in the right hand side, how do we do dynamically? In the sense, we create a table and also upload the data into that table dynamically. Yeah. And whatever we have is whatever the logic that we have written is being executed from the local laptop, and whatever the raw data that you need to put it into the into a structured table, that would be stored in a Google Cloud storage. All right. So that's how the scenario of this video. So this video going to help you a lot in the to achieve the required analytics with using Google Cloud BigQuery. Yeah. And this is the first version of my video. Maybe I'm going to create another automatic version. Say, when you say automatic version, in the sense, we're going to keep a cloud function in between, and which will automatically do the scenarios. Say, you upload the file, automatically it creates the table if it is not there. If it is there, it's going to upload, or it's going to append the data to that to the table that is being created. Yeah. All right. So with that note, so this is how the flow is. Now I'm going to take you to the my source code. So I have kept the scripts and the JSON files in this repo called Python hacks. I'm going to upload the code of whatever the code I'm going to explain you here. So I'm going to upload these code in my GitHub repo, and the GitHub repo link will be shared in video's description. You can find it from there and achieve the scenario from your side as well. Yeah. So here I have a couple of files which I'm going to use it for this particular scenario. One is main.python file. So this is the file which actually does the magic, which actually reads the file from the storage bucket and also creates the table into the BigQuery with accordance with the schema that we declare. So we're going to declare the schemas in the .yaml file. So whatever the data that you are uploading into the bucket, yeah, so that should have certain schemas, and according to that schema we're going to create a table. And then after the table is created with the schema, then we're going to upload the data that is present in the JSON file automatically to that BigQuery bucket. Yeah. Sorry, BigQuery table actually. So okay, so this is the file which is contains the logic, everything. I'm going to walk you through this logic as well. Then the schema. So I have the schemas.yaml file. So this is just an example file which I got from the internet. So it contains certain tables. So for example, I'm just creating a dummy table called table1, and the format that could be used to upload into this bucket is new line delimited JSON file. So for example, if you have a JSON file where it is actually not following the JSON patterns or JSON syntax, but the data that you need to put it into the BigQuery bucket, BigQuery table is delimited, new line delimited, for example. Yeah. So in that case, this is how the the schemas would be declared, and the schema declaration will be defined in this YAML file. So this main.py file will gonna read this file and create the table schema according to that, and that table will be used to upload the data present in the bucket. Yeah. Alright, similarly I have declared the couple of other table with the different schemas. That is the schemas required to upload the file of this kind of type. Yeah, say outer array of JSON, then you have the table 3 with the src format, then you have the object string as well. So for example, you have you are just passing the objects. Yeah, so in that case this is the table format could be used, and this is a df format. Yeah, but basically in this video I'm just gonna cover up the majorly used, that is a new line delimited JSON format. Yeah. All right, so you might be wondering what is new line delimited JSON. So this is the new line delimited JSON example file. So if you see in this file, this is nothing but another like a JSON file, but here the syntax is missing. You see it is telling that there is some syntactical error, because when you say JSON, so JSON will look for its own pattern, but here you see the records, in the sense one on records are put in the form of a dictionary in Python terminology, and you see this is the first dictionary. Yeah, and the line number 2 is a second dictionary, which is nothing but records, right? So let's say you have a process which is creating the file like this. That file could be directly uploaded into the a storage bucket, and this data would be automatically copied into the BigQuery table, and then from there you can use it for analytics purpose. Okay, so that's the reason this is the example file I have used in this demo, and we're going to show you like how does this data will be automatically uploaded into the BigQuery table, and from there we can do the analytics. Yeah. All right, so this is about the schemas main file, and I also created a test.py file. So you might be, the name itself says, right? So that is test.py file. So I have created one file, just a py file. If you execute this file, the actual the program, right, the actual task of retrieving the file from the storage bucket, creating the table in the BigQuery with the schema, and uploading the data present in this file into this BigQuery table, that is what it happens, right? And that is what the this function will gonna do that job for us. Yeah, similarly this is local execution, so I'm just mimicking the scenario what could happen on the cloud functions basically. Yeah, so the cloud function gonna be my next video. I'm gonna help you with that, with the complete end-to-end automations. But before you go for that video, maybe this video gonna help you with the real time, what I can say, the real time how does that automation works basically. Yeah. All right, so this is a test.py file. Similarly, I have an event.py file. So what is this event.py files, right? So event.py file is nothing but it's just gonna mimic the scenario of, for example, if you are creating a cloud function with the event driven, and whenever there is a file upload happens in the storage bucket, then automatically it will invoke the cloud function, which will pass an event with this data format. Yeah, it includes the name of the file, bucket, and when did that file got created in a bucket. Yeah, and this data will be used by a test.py file to invoke the main.py file. Yeah, so this is three files are working together and achieving the scenario in indirectly. Yeah. All right, and similarly I have another file called this is the something like a service token. This is the file which actually contains the secrets that is required to connect to my Google Cloud account, and this is the secret keys of the service account. So okay, all right, so this is the brief about the files which I'm going to show you in this demo. So this is the prerequisite here. So what I'm going to show you right now is a prerequisite. So you should have a service account. So to know more about how to create a service account, please do watch my previous video where I have explained from the scratch like how do you need to create a service account in the Google Cloud. Yeah, so for this video purpose, what I did is I have already created a service account. So if you click on this one, so this is the service account I have created, and this is my email address of the service account. And in the permissions, I have given like highest privilege to this guy, that is so this, if you see here, it has a owner access, and yeah, so when it has a owner access, it does not matter, right? So it has a full access. So for this demo purpose, I have given a full access because I'm going to remove the keys later. Yeah, and then later I created a key which is I'm using it. You see this is the key which I'm using in the execution from the VS Code, that is Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is what the file is. I'm going to use it. Yeah, so this is basically a prerequisite, and then I'm going to go to the next prerequisite is having a bucket. So I have created a bucket already. So the bucket name is test demo bucket. You see the bucket name is test demo storage bucket. Okay, so in this one I'm gonna upload a file with a certain naming format, say table_1, table -1 underscore data new line delimited, right? So this is just to tell, so what is the bucket name that I'm going to create, and what is the data format it does contains. Okay, so that is what this file tells all about. Yeah, for now I'm deleting off because I'm going to upload it one more time, right? This is, previously I have already practiced this demo, so that's the reason this was the result of that. So we have cleaned up this file, and I'm going to re-upload it, once I'm going to complete the code walkthrough as well, right? So this is the bucket side configurations, and I'm going to take you to the another tab. So that is the BigQuery, which is our final destination service. Yeah, so here yeah, so this is loading still. So if you go to the BigQuery, so currently this is what my project is. Underneath this project I have created a data set. Okay, so if we go to this one, so we created a data set. So how did I create a data set? Okay, so creating a data set is a prerequisite here. That's the reason I'm telling you. So click on this create data set, right? And provide the the required information, saying like what is the name of your, what is the ID of your data set, and does it gonna be reason wise or multi reason wise. Okay, so I have just added multi reason wise and given the name like staging, and that is the string. Okay, so whatever the ID you give it here, we're gonna use it in a script. Okay, so this is the second prerequisite. All right, so with that, we are set with the Google Cloud option set. Now let me go to the code, and I'm going to walk you through the code as well. Mainly I have to walk you through this main.py file, as the name says, main.py file. So this is the code which is actually doing the magic here, right? So here so to execute it from your laptop, you need to install certain packages, that is Python packages, which includes the BigQuery storage account. So if you are not installed the BigQuery and storage packages of Google Cloud, you need to do it. Okay, so you can do it with using the commands like pip install. So pip install, so if I can show you, so I have installed multiple packages. One is pip install py YAML file, because I'm going to read the YAML file with using Python, right? So I need to install this package called pip install py YAML. Yeah, similarly we have installed like BigQuery one. So you see now I have installed the Google Cloud BigQuery packages as well. If I can show you back, um yeah, all right. So basically, just for your information, so you please make sure that you have installed these packages required for a BigQuery and the storage account. Yeah, so these are the packages. Now I'm going to quickly walk you through this code as just a quick code walkthrough, and then we're going to execute this file and see that is it really uploading the data into the BigQuery by creating a table if it is not exist. Currently, I missed it to tell. So currently this data set does not has any bucket. Yeah, for example, for your information basically. So here let me quickly walk you through this code. So here we are importing multiple packages required for this code execution: JSON logging, OS, traceback, data and time, yeah, IO, regular expression, string IO, byte IO, yeah, and then retries, then the BigQueries and the storage, which is the major services that we are dealing with, yeah. And then we have installed the pandas and pytz is not required, not used, yeah, but yeah, so we can just remove it off if it is not used, because if I go ahead and try to find the pandas, so pandas is not used, so I'm going to clean up those which is not used in front of you only, right? For example, I'm going to delete, is also not used. I'm going to backspace this, and yeah, so this one is not also used. So for your information, whichever the packages I'm using, those import. uh, a YAML and taking in the variable called config, right? So basically this config variable will have a YAML definitions now. So once this variable is loaded, then you can Finally, we are executing a final API underneath the BigQuery, that is load underscore table from the URI, right? So in this one, we are giving the Google Cloud Storage URI, that is storage bucket file URI, and this is the table ID, and then the job config object. So the job config object contains schema, format of the data, and then the right disposition data will be fed it here. Once you run this one, basically it actually bulk uploads the data into the BigQuery table, and that's where the record is getting inserted. Okay, all right. So with that, I have successfully walked you through the code that I need to walk you here. Now time has come to execute our just to test this particular code. Okay, so to test that, as I said earlier, we have created a test.py file. The test.py file is nothing but it's just mimicking the scenario where you can execute this scenario with using the cloud function, right? Where here from event. So event is nothing but I have another file. So in this event file, you have the name, bucket, and time created. So that is being read from this one. From that, we are actually printing the bucket name created, yeah. And then we are actually invoking the streaming function, which is present in the main.1, and that is how the streaming function executes and it orchestrates the job. Okay, that is needed to actually load the data from the the bucket to the BigQuery table, right? So to execute this file, I need to just run a command called python pytest. I'm just hitting it right now in front of you. So you see currently it has printed the bucket name, file name, date, right? So whatever data is there, you see here it has successfully created something. Okay, there is some error is happening. So I'm going to show you what is that. It says, so there is some like exception, that is URI. So this is basically URI. This is the, so there is small error. I'm going to correct that in front of you now. So it tells that the URI is not found. Yeah. So this is the JSON.json file. Okay. So okay. All right. So maybe yes. Why it is saying 404? Why? Because the bucket does not has the file. Yeah. That's the reason it is throwing the error. So if you go to the here earlier in the starting of this video, I told you that we need to upload the file, right? And that is where my diagram tells so first one, make sure that your file is present here, and then only you can upload it. Okay, so think that your application is doing the job. You just need to daily run, just click on this file, which is going to do the job. Yeah. So for that case, for now, I'm just uploading the file from my system. So this is the file I'm going to upload it now. All right. So once the file is uploaded, if you rerun the job, it should actually do the required job. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to refresh it now. Let's see if it is uploaded. Here you go. The file is uploaded. So in the automation, it should be automatically done. But here I'm just I'm just the being a developer, I'm just invoking it here, right? You see the schema is created, but this time the data is not uploaded. You can see the data here. You can see the schema being here. So if I refresh the content, so here you go, right? So earlier the bucket was not there. Now, sorry, the table was not there. The table got created. Table got created with the schema like ID, first name, last name, and address with the different objects underneath one. Yeah. And then you can execute a query like query in the new tab. So basically just a query in new tab, and here just a type like star. So I'm going to just say star and run a query. So once the query runs, queries, what actually the query is doing, it's just selecting the all data present under this table, right? Which is currently has no data because error has occurred, right? And we have solved the error by uploading this file into that storage bucket. Now I'm going to rerun this code again, right? So remember that the schema is already there. Now again, it will not create the schema, just read the schema, but this time it should upload the data, right? So here we go, right? So this was very, very quick. It has just now finished to upload the data into the table, right? So if I rerun this one, I should see the data being populated into this particular table. Here you go. The 2 records are being populated. Why 2 records? Because I have that file has only 2 records. Yeah. All right. So if I rerun this job again, just gonna append it basically. Just it is not maintaining the deduplication, but it just it just appends the data to the next row of the table. Right. So now we should see 4 records being added. You see there are 4 records have been added. And that's the reason the configuration present in the the configuration present in this one, we are telling like append to the